Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Bound Journals. Welcome back to my channel. This is a Faith Junk Journal with Me episode, and I put one of these videos out every Sunday. And I have a playlist for this as well, so if you want to check out more of these videos, I'll put that in the description box. So basically what I do is grab my journaling Bible and just highlight the passage. You can already see it highlighted there over in the left. And I get my faith journal here and it's filling up nicely. My aim was to try to fill it up by the end of the year. Not sure if we'll get there, but we'll see how we go. We've got a few more pages to fill up, so I'm just kind of flipping through, looking for a page that I would like to work on that I think will suit the theme of the scripture. And this page here wasn't planned at all, but look at this. It says on this music paper, hang on, I think I'll show you later on. I bring it up to the camera, but it says, "There's no day like today." There it is, yeah. So I'm glad I read that and noticed that, because that is absolutely perfect for what I want to journal about today. So I'm just clipping the edges so it lays a bit flatter, and all of the items here, including those beautiful clips, these come from Stationery Pal. So I'm going to also link their website below with a coupon discount code. And yeah, I just absolutely love these items. So everything you see that I'm going to use to decorate this page comes from them. And this booklet, honestly, this is the best thing ever. This has been so useful. I just love the little sentiments on them, the pretty little florals, the colours. There's a colour for every page spread, for every theme. I love florals and I love these little sentiments. So I pulled out one that says "Lovely Moments," and then I pulled out a couple that say "Special Day," and then one that says "Start Over." So let me just read out the scripture that I'm looking at today, and then I'll get into how it's speaking to me and what I'm doing with this page. So Psalm 119:24. "This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." This is the New Living Translation. And yeah, so I hope you can kind of see how all of these words that I've chosen tie in to that scripture. And yeah, I'll just lay those out because I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, if I'm going to use all of them or just one or two. So I like having them at the top there so I can just see them and know what I've got to work with. And then I've got these little notepads, little memo pads, really, really cute. And got my dot liner here. Oh, no, put that away. First I'm going to write the verse out on this paper because I find it easier to write it first and then stick it down after, just because once it's stuck down then you have to maneuver the whole journal to get it the right angle. I sort of write on an angle, have you noticed? I have it slanting up towards the right, and I've always done that ever since I was a kid. Like in primary school, that's when I first noticed how I would move my exercise book on an angle, and that's how I wrote. And because some of my friends would notice, like, "Wow, you write on an angle." Anyway, random little side note. So yeah, I'm just writing out the scripture first, and then I will glue that down to the page. And I've also got some washi tape here, again all from Stationery Pal. I got a whole bunch of washi tape from them, and it's been wonderful using that to decorate pages. And I love using it to kind of faux stick down papers, so it kind of looks like it's sticking it down, but really it's the glue that's sticking it down. And there's my little cat Keanu just peeking in and saying hello. And I just wanted to cover up the words just so that it shows the top line. "There's no day like today." Okay, so as I just continue working on this page spread, let me just chat about how this scripture has been speaking to me this week. And as always, I hope that it is encouraging and timely. So yeah, basically this week I was reminded of how, each day is a gift. And I mean, it's such a simple, basic thing, but often we can forget the simple, basic things, can't we? And we can so easily take things for granted, just the things, the everyday things like our health. I mean, I always take my health for granted. It's only when I get sick that I remember, oh wow, yeah, the health is something that's not in my control, and something that I just wake up with, and I can easily just forget how much of a gift health actually is. And people struggling and suffering with illnesses, or you know, having some sort of disability, or whatever it is, a sore hand, whatever it is, it can hinder in some ways. And that's like an everyday reality, or if it's just a short-term reality, you become very aware of how much health is important, and how much it can affect well-being and lifestyle and everything. And so whenever I get sick, I'm always reminded, my goodness, I need to be more thankful for my health. And then just like what I was thinking about with the days, of how I've got to be more thankful for my days, because I can just, fall into that trap, I guess, of the humdrum of daily life and just going through the motions. And anytime I get stuck in that daily motions grind, I have to kind of snap myself out of it and remind myself, this day is not just a humdrum day. This day is not just a boring going through the motions day, a day like any other day. And take all this with a grain of salt. Like, of course, there's the daily grind and there's value in that. And that, of course, some days are just exactly like other days. But what I mean is, every day there are opportunities to find wonder. Every day there are opportunities to find joy, even in the midst of, every day the same. Every day is the daily grind. Yes, every day like that, of course. Day in, day out, you got your job to do, you got your family to raise, or whatever it is that it is for you. But even in that daily grind, even in that sameness, there is richness, there is something to be found, there's something to learn, there's something to discover, there's something to find beauty in, there's something, I hope this is making sense. But I can forget it, and like often, beauty just happens to us. Like, we'll walk down the street and like, oh wow, look at that, or a moment will happen and we're like, it just happens, you know what I mean? Like, you go through your day and things just happen, and you notice it when it happens. Hopefully we notice it. But I want to be more intentional. Like, every day is a gift. Look for these moments and create, like, don't just wait for them to happen. Create moments of beauty, create moments of joy, and yes, like, actively be part of your life. Like, yes, every day can be the same. Every day could be a daily grind. But we have agency. We can do something and actively and intentionally make things happen and find the wonder, instead of just let it come across our path randomly. And so we can all do different things to do that, and it might look different from different people. For me, one thing I love to do is, at the moment, listen to a podcast, and that's just filling my mind with something that I'm learning. Like, so two of the podcasts that I love at the moment are Revisionist History and Cautionary Tales. And what I love about these podcasts is that I'm learning something, like my brain is getting stimulated. And so, your days you might feel like, my days are so boring, I don't do anything, boring. But at least in this one day, I got to listen to an interesting podcast, and I got to learn something, and I'm inspired by it, and I want to tell people about what I learned, and I want to journal about what I learned and put into action what I learned. And that's just one really, really small example. But journaling is another example of one way that I like to pay attention to the day, capture it, find the gold. Like, yes, some days it's just a daily, I did this, nothing interesting. So maybe on those days, maybe I could just find something, like look for an inspiring quote, or look through some magazines and find a picture that I like, that speaks to me, or do something more. So I'm talking to myself here, to make the day a bit more, I don't know, wonderful. So a bit less mundane, And sometimes we have to be active in that and intentional, and not just let it happen to us and wait for it to happen to us, but go out. And it does take energy, it does take effort, and yes, it does take time to find these things, to be on the lookout for them, to research a podcast that you like, to look at the world, like go out into the world, go for a walk with your camera and just take one photo that captures your imagination or something that inspires you, and find one little moment of beauty or one little moment of joy and capture that with your camera. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ideas. Those are the only ones that are coming to my mind at the moment. But yeah, I just want to go back to this page and what I've done, because I added this typewriter page. And the reason I did that, because it ties into this idea that we have agency, we can act, we can write our story and have a say in what our days look like. We don't have to just, okay, I wake up and the day happens and I go to sleep, and I wake up and the day happens and go to sleep. But like, wake up and we have responsibility, I believe, like with this time that we've been given, with each day that we've been given, it's a gift, and we have a responsibility to use each day well and to use our time well. And I was just feeling like I was wasting my time. I was just wasting my time, and it's like, no, each day is actually a gift, and what can we do with it? How can we write each day? What are we going to write on the page of each day of our lives? What will you write? And yes, to an extent, sometimes the writing will already be written for us as the day unfolds, but we can also write something on that page ourselves. And for that part that we can control, like we can't control everything that happens, of course not, but we do have some level of control. And what are you going to do with that? Or are you just going to give it up and let the day happen to you, if that makes sense? So it's a challenge. This is a personal challenge to me. Like, what am I doing with my days? Am I just letting them happen to me? Am I going through the daily motions? Or am I actively going about searching for the gold and looking for the joy and finding the meaning? And I wrote in my Bible something about making each day either useful, helpful, or meaningful. So, we can do something for others, we can help others, we can help ourselves. Mental health struggles, well-being struggles, it's a real thing that we can do stuff that helps ourselves too, and that's just as valid as helping someone else. Making someone else's life better is something that I'm all about. I hope my channel and my videos help make people's lives better by adding a bit of gold to your life, by adding a bit of joy or beauty or inspiration, but by making our own lives a bit better each day. That helps too, because we're people too. And also, like, just doing something meaningful. It might not have any meaning for anyone else, but if it has meaning for you, then that's worth it. So yeah, I'm just writing that down here about how I was reminded of that this week, of how each day is so precious and such a gift, and we have 24 hours in a day. Well, sleep, factor in sleep, but sleep is valuable too. Don't neglect sleep. Like, if you just sleep, that is wonderful for health and well-being too. Make sure we get enough sleep, and that's something to be valued in as a way of allocating time in that 24 hours. So, like, allocate your time wisely, allocate your time to, yes, the daily grind and the motions, but also where can you look for the wonder and look for the joy. And maybe that is journaling, since most of us here, I think, are journalists. Maybe that is journaling. I use journaling as a practice for noticing and documenting and making my day a little bit more wonderful through the art of journaling. And I kind of like that concept. Maybe I got to put that in a quote. Journaling makes the day a little more wonderful. And yeah, I just put the typewriter there as well to represent that as well, like how we can write our story each day and we can document it in our journals and write it down. So live your story, and I've put all these little stickers all over the place to kind of go with that theme. Live your life, live your story, and keep going. And so I put start over as well. So if any day you just feel like you let it happen to you, don't worry, the next day you got another chance to be active, to be an active agent in your own life, in your own story. you can always start over. You can always start over. So I hope that was encouraging and I'll see you guys in the next video. A big special thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in November. Without you guys, I cannot do what I do, making these videos and teaching journaling courses, making journals and sharing journaling inspiration. So a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you guys. You are helping the mission of Willowbound Journals, which is to bring light and life into people's lives through creativity, beauty, and storytelling and inspiration. So if you would like to become a patron in December, I would be so appreciative. I'll leave the link below to that in the description box. And there's also links to my Etsy shop and my Instagram, the Facebook community page, my personal Facebook business page, and also links to my journaling courses. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on this amazing journey. And may you journal your life because your stories matter.